Welcome back. We missed you. And now we are here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, just waiting to do a nice review of A Complete Unknown. JP is going to do that for us. I'm excited about any biopic, especially this one, and a performance with Timothy Chalamet. I think it's going to be interesting.
Sure.
But I just wanted to get into some of the facts because this biopic it's set in the early 1960s. It is about a 19-year-old Bob Dylan, and we're actually counting down some of the top facts. So let's do this together and give you a bit of a background before it's a complete unknown to you right now, but let's try and fill in some of the facts. Let's start off with, first and foremost, can we go to the name, Bob Dylan?
Okay, you're telling me what? It's not his name?
So not the birth name of Bob Dylan, not at all.
Okay.
All right, so Robert Allen Zimmerman is the real name Bob Dylan. You'll be surprised how many of these artists have like these interesting names, and you kind of feel almost like, why didn't they just keep the name? I would love to listen to a ballad from Robert Zimmerman.
I would love to.
You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
great name.
That gives you Hans Zimmer feels, you know what I mean? Like, that's just like elevated already. Why?
Incredible.
Bob?
So what you're trying to tell me is that The Weeknd's name, that's not his government name?
No, of course. Well, of course, Abel Tesfaye is going to be good. Don't forget, Armando Perez has given us some, Mr. 305 has given us some of the best things
Wow.
ever. Yes.
You didn't even.
So Andre Three Stacks, his mom didn't name him that?
No, not at all. You understand? So that's why, and I think it's important to kind of, so Robert Allen Zimmerman, that start off, that's the name.
That's really cool. Okay, I've got one for you.
All right, cool.
Did you know about Bob Dylan that he actually was born into a Jewish family? So he's got that heritage behind him, which is really beautiful, that he carries with him in his music.
It's something you didn't really pick up on when it comes to his music or anything, actually. So, interesting indeed. Yeah.
Lovely. Facts are dropping, eh? We're coming through with the facts. We've got the plug. Do you have a fact for us?
I have a fact, yes.
Yes,
I have
thank
an
you.
interesting fact, right? So this is something that I actually, many of us could be inspired by, right? He was actually a university dropout. He never finished his liberal arts degree. So just to show you that even though you don't necessarily have that plan A in mind, plan B might even turn out so much better.
Well, maybe it's just a master of liberal arts to start. I think that's why.
You know what? Yeah, you
liberated himself.
Maybe that's it. So a bit more about the background of Bob Dylan. He moved to New York in 1961 to chase his dream of becoming a big music star, perhaps something that you'll see in A Complete Unknown as a build-up in the movie. Because what I saw in the trailer of that movie is that there was just that build-up of who's this guy, who's this guy, who's this guy, who's this guy. And I think that's what the story is going to unfold. It's going to unfold those sorts of pieces, which I love to see.
I love it. Also, Timothy at the forefront of it. Like, I would love to see that. Okay, let's move on from that. Sorry, Kylie. So some of his hobbies, let me get into it. I love finding out about people's, pastimes. He really loved restoring old cars. Also, riding horses, which I found really interesting, and really getting into sailboats. And this is my favorite one, learning how to cook. I think we can relate to that. There's one thing we have in common. I also like to learn.
I know these are facts, but aren't those like the essentials of the 1960s? Like you had to drive a horse, you had to cook for yourself. Drive a horse? Sorry, drive a horse? Come on, man,
1960s was not that long ago.
My horse came and it's not that great, clearly. I don't have my license. I'm still working on it. But clearly, isn't that like the norm for back in the day, those things that you had to do? I don't know. Facts or not, they happened, I guess.
You had to drive a horse.
Yes.
Give us one last fact.
Bob's coming for me,
Look
bro.
here with your horse driving.
All the horses out there, Django, I apologize.
So what, you're in a last fact. Come on now, give us...
One more. Okay. Listen, obviously he was a visual artist, right? But he once said that he was profoundly affected by Dr. King's famous "I have a dream" speech. So a man that clearly had a bit of insight into worldly going-ons and somehow I think incorporated into his music in a very, very unique and special way.
Oh, that's beautiful. Do you think Dr. King also rode or drove a horse? I wonder.
Well, who knows? Well, we should actually take a trip down memory lane at the moment because I think that it's important for us to hear some Bob Dylan too before we do a complete review. So, Blowing in the Wind, take a listen to this.
How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? Yes, and how many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? Yes, and how many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is a blowing in.
Oh man, that's so good. It's so good.
Folky and stuff, bro. Like this kind of music makes you want to go. This makes me want to pack my bag, go on an adventure with like a stick and it, like material canvas thing, you know, just like hit the high road, man.
No.
It gives you those feels. Come on.
You know, it's great. So a little bit later, A Complete Unknown reviewed by JP. Plus, we're not only driving horses today, but we're also giving you a challenge. We got a back-to-school challenge for you two.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you to the
exciting.
test. We've got a bit of a snack challenge, so I'm
ready
looking
for
forward
it.
to that later.
Bring it on.
Yeah, man.
Please, the biopics also continue because it's not only, of course, Timothy Chalamet playing Bob Dylan, but we also get into some Luther Vandross goodness. So much awaits you on the other side of this.
Only you can